So check this out, y'all. This is my grilled leg quarters that I did in my air fryer slash grill, the 4-in-1. Like I told you, that thing there is a game changer. Here's my frittata that I actually put in the oven. And again, my salmon bites. And remember, I got enough to cook for tomorrow. I'm just letting it continue to sit in the marinade. And I'm gonna eat this tonight. Oh, my mouth is watering. Talk about good, y'all. Look. And that too. So these are gonna all cool, and then I'll have my lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the next 3 to 4 days. I have a couple of things that I'm meal prepping today. One, I'm gonna do like a breakfast frittata. Something very similar. I actually saw another young lady that did one similar who's on Carnivore with her dad. I'll put a shout out to her below, but I'm gonna start my bacon to cook. I found for me, I prefer to cook it on top of the stove in my cast iron, and what I usually do is let it just cook down slow. So I have to cook some bacon, then after the bacon I'm gonna fry down some ground beef, and then I'm gonna mix it up, and then I'm gonna put it in a cast iron skillet and put it in the oven. So I'll take you through the process of that. But right now, it's a couple of things. So I'm gonna do the frittata today. I have some chicken leg quarters that I'm gonna try to go ahead and get ready so that I can have it for lunch for Monday and Tuesday. And I'm gonna do some salmon bites, also some for dinner tonight and some for dinner tomorrow. Now for my salmon bites, I just purchased some salmon. It's the Atlantic salmon fillets, but let me show you. So I actually asked the butcher to cut these up in chunks for me, and I will say some of his chunks were too big, so I just took some meat cutting shears and I cut them into smaller chunks. I'm gonna rinse it, and then I'm gonna towel dry, and then I'm gonna put my seasoning and let it sit in the actual refrigerator while I continue to cook. So these are gonna be my salmon bites that I'm actually gonna do in the air fryer. I told you I'm in love with the air fryer. So my bacon is cooking up really good. I usually turn mine a couple of times while it's in here, but I'm gonna let it cook a little while longer, and then I'll actually turn it in just a minute. So I rinsed my salmon, and what I usually do is just usually take a paper towel and towel dry, meaning try to get as much of the water out as possible. That's all I do. And then I'll put my seasonings, and like I mentioned to you before, I'm not there yet where I'm just using the salt and pepper. I still use the garlic powder, the onion powder, smoked paprika, and all those different things. So pretty much similar to how I seasoned my ribeye and shrimp yesterday, that's how I'm gonna season my salmon bites, but I am gonna add some no sugar added sriracha to it and go from there because I want a little kick with it. But before I do that, let me just turn my bacon just a little bit. So like I said, all I do is I turn it a couple times because I like it to cook as crispy as possible. And that's just the way I like to do it. Oh, that was 2 pieces in one. And this was supposed to be thick cut bacon, but I'm gonna have to question that. I bought the grocery store brand, and it's supposed to be thick cut, but I'll tell you, this is some thin bacon. So I might have to go with my other one the next time. Don't get me wrong, I prefer if I could, but I think because I do like it thick cut, I'm gonna have to maybe go with the other one the next time. But as you can see, the middle is cooking a little quicker, so I usually just push this over some, switch it around a little bit, move this actually. And then move this here. But like I said, I cook mine usually like on a medium temperature, not too high. And I try to get it as crispy as possible. I'm just gonna move stuff around. And that's gonna keep cooking. Some Redmond's kosher salt, Redmond's real salt. And like I told you the other day, I usually just sprinkle some in my hand. And then I just take it and, because I just don't want it clumped. And then I just kind of take it. Then I'm gonna put some pepper on there. I am still into seasoning. I can't say that enough. So this set of bacon is ready to come out. Like I told you, I let it, I turned it a couple times, but it's pretty much ready. I'm gonna put another section of bacon in. I'm also gonna add in some crushed red pepper. Onion powder. I heard somebody say one time, if you're not sneezing, it's not seasoned. So I'm not gonna be sneezing, but I'm gonna make sure it's definitely seasoned. I'm using some smoked paprika. Some garlic powder. And I'm gonna do some sriracha hot chili sauce. This is my first time trying this one, so I'm not sure what it tastes like or anything. I just saw it and said, okay, I'm gonna try it. And I like mine to sit in the refrigerator for a little while, so I'm gonna let it sit in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes or so. And I'm gonna just stir it up to try to get my flavor throughout. And it's up to you, you know, how you wanna season it, what you wanna add. It smells good. It's definitely gonna have some kick to it because I can smell the pepper. And like I said, I'm gonna let this sit in the refrigerator for about maybe 30 minutes to an hour while I finish continuing to prep. Meal prep Sunday is what I'm calling this. So let me keep going. So I already purchased these leg quarters and I'd already washed them and put them in a Ziploc in the refrigerator. I just didn't season them, which I should have, but I gotta get these cooked because I purchased these on Friday, so they need to be cooked. And I'm probably just gonna end up putting them in the air fryer and we're gonna see how that turns out. You know what? I think I'm gonna grill them because like I grilled my actual ribeye, I'm gonna grill these as well. This one I'm gonna use the, ooh, that's definitely too much, so I had to definitely shake some of that off. That was way too much. I'm gonna do the Redmond salt. And I'm gonna do the pepper. Then I'm gonna turn them in a minute. Give me some garlic powder. Onion powder. and some rosemary. And I'm just gonna turn them over. Red salt. And I can hear my bacon cooking, so I'm gonna have to check on that in just a second. Let me try to get this done first. And then I'm gonna turn on my air fryer grill slash oven. I'm gonna turn that on and let it get hot with my griddle in it. I can't remember what all I put on here. So you can see the bacon. This is the second load of bacon in. I put some, squeezed some in. Ooh, I flipped it, but that grease is popping just a little bit. Like I said, I usually cook it on low, so that it can get crispy. So that looks pretty good right there. Those pretty much are ready to come out. That's ready to come out too. I'll let this continue to cook down. And then what I'm gonna do here is get my air fryer ready, and it's pretty much gonna be the same as yesterday. I'm gonna have it on grill. So I'm gonna get my air fryer ready. Like I said, this is a combo one. You've probably seen these before if you've seen any of my videos, but I got it on grill. I think I'm gonna cook it at maybe in between the about 375, and I'm gonna turn it on. And sorry for sniffling, I got a little allergies going on here, but if you watched before, this already has the actual like plate, like a griddle plate in it, non-stick. And I usually let it get hot first, so I'm gonna let it get hot for about 10-15 minutes, and then I'm gonna put my chicken legs on. And I'm trying to look here, and it's got chicken wings, different descriptions for what needs to be cooked and how long. It's actually saying 400, so I'm gonna turn it back to 400. That's for chicken wings, but of course these are leg quarters, so I'm gonna see, and it says 20 to 25 minutes, so I'm probably gonna do so many minutes on one side and then flip it. Meantime, my bacon is almost done. And I don't know if I showed you, because I'm going to have some excess bacon grease. So I actually got this from Amazon. It's one of those bacon grease. I remember when I was a kid, my grandmother used to have a tin pan that she used. But that's that. It has the strainer with it. And I'm just keeping my excess bacon grease in that, which has been wonderful. Like I said, I'll put the link down below for that. It's not that big, so you know, I'm sure for me this is great because I can just use and reuse as necessary. But anyway, next I'm going to pour the excess grease off, and then I'm going to fry down my ground beef. So I'm going to take that out. Excess grease to my little strainer. Leave some in. it off as much as possible. And up around it. And I'm gonna fry up this 100% grass-fed beef. I was watching Dr. Berg, and he was saying be careful about grass-fed beef. Make sure it's 100% grass-fed. So this is something I purchased on Friday, and it is ready to be cooked. So this one, we can break it up. Something better than this. Break it up. Give me something else. Hold on. Take my chicken thighs and lay it on there, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to get all 4 on here. I think I'm gonna do 2 at a time, just because, and do it that way. So I got those on. I'm gonna cook those down, and these are probably gonna be about 30 minutes each, but this is just to show you what I'm doing for the meal prep. You can hear that sizzling, and I'm gonna let these cook for about maybe 15 minutes on one side and 15 minutes on the other. It might need a little less, but I do have my meat thermometer to use, so let's close that up and let it go. Meantime, my hamburger meat is cooking up. And this is like a breakfast frittata, but you could eat this anytime. You can eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner if you want to. So I'm ready to do my frittata. I'm going to use probably about 8 eggs today. I'm not going to do a full dozen because it's just me. So I'm going to do 8 eggs, and then I'm going to put my bacon in the food processor so that I can crumble it up. And then I'm gonna put my ground beef in, and we're gonna go from there. And I'm thinking about putting a little cheese in, but I'll have to grate that up. So I'm just going to scrape this just a little bit. I want to get all this bacon out of here. And then I'm just going to add my ground beef. I probably should have let it cool just a little bit, but I didn't. So for future reference, let it cool just a little bit. I'm just trying to get this done. It's getting late and I haven't even eaten yet. So, and my chicken thighs are still, leg quarters are still cooking. So, and it's gonna cook in the oven anyway, so it's just a really preempt. Now some people add a little milk to theirs. I got a little bit of heavy whipping cream I might add in it, but the more I think about it, probably not. I think I'm just gonna add a little cheese to the top. Okay. Still hot. So I changed my mind. I'm gonna add some cheese to it. Now you actually should buy block cheese, because if you're not familiar, actually when they have to pre-shred your cheese or slice your cheese, they put like a starch base in it to help with the shredding process. So I always buy block cheese and I shred it myself. So I did change my mind and decide to add a little bit of cheese in it. So I'm gonna shred it down and add some in, and then I'm gonna put a little bit on top. So y'all, my chicken has been cooking for about 20, really almost 20 to 25 minutes on one side. So I am ready to turn it over. And look, y'all, I am really loving this effect. So let me turn it over. And look at that. And you know what? Now that this is cooked down a little bit, I can probably add the other two on here. Yeah, I think I can add the other two. I'm gonna add one there and one there, and that way I can still be cooking, because at first it didn't look like all four could fit, but now that they've cooked down a little bit, I'm gonna put the timer for 20 minutes and let the other two finish cooking, and then these two I'll flip. Okay, so I melted some butter down for my frittata. I'm going to put my mix in, and I'm also letting my oven heat up to 375, and this will be ready to go in the oven. Forgot to show you while I was transferring it in, but I actually forgot to turn my camera on. But actually what I did was I melted the butter in the bottom of my cast iron, and I poured my mixture in, and I'm about to put it in the oven for about 30 to 35 minutes. So I got my meat thermometer in here, and it's getting close to the 165 for poultry to be done. Actually, it's going higher than that, so it should be close to being done. So I'm gonna flip it and then take the two pieces out that's been in there for almost really 30 to 40 minutes, and then I'm gonna put the other two pieces, I'm gonna flip those back over and put those back in. I flip those two pieces over, and I'm gonna put them back in for another 20 minutes. My oven is at 375, so I'm gonna take my frittata and put it in, and like I said, I'm gonna bake it for about 35 minutes. And let that go. So my chicken is almost ready to come out, so I'm ready to get my salmon bites ready to be air fried. And like I said, I pretty much had these marinate for about an hour. If you let them marinate overnight, it's even better. In fact, I may have some that I might not cook all tonight. I might just save some for tomorrow, because this probably is more than enough. 30 minutes, but I may let it cook an extra 5 because I want mine to be a little crispy. But look at that, that looks so good. My timer just went off for my leg quarters. Let's see what they look like. And boy, look at those. They look great. Those really have a good grill effect to them. Look, it's cooking. You can see it's cooking on the bone. I like it just like that. I like the skin to be crispy. And look at that. Yeah. Other one over there. And boy, this is lunch. So I'm gonna turn it to air fry because I just had it on grill. And the directions say to heat the air fry up to 390, and I'm already at 300 and it's already hot. So the directions also say cook on each side 4 to 5 minutes. So I'm gonna turn it on and I'll just gauge it, and I'm gonna slide it in. And we're gonna start the air frying, and I'm gonna set my timer for 4 minutes. It's really pretty much done. It's probably got about, let me see what it looks like on the top. It's getting there. Let's see what it looks like on the top. It's pretty brown. I'm gonna let it go for a few more minutes. I will tell you, I'm gonna pour the excess oil off of it because that's a lot of oil, but it probably came from that bacon and the cheese. I'll just pour that off before it cools down totally. So I'm gonna give it probably about 5 more minutes and we're gonna be good to go. So my 4-minute timer just went off. Let's see what they look like. Looks pretty good. And I can tell you, I probably want them a little more crispier on top, so I'm gonna go for another minute before I flip them. So I let it go for another minute, which was a total of 5 minutes, and they're so tender and ready to be flipped, so I'm gonna have to be real gentle with it. Probably just turn it on its side. That are bigger, I can turn them all the way over, but these are so tender and I don't want to break them up, so I'm just going to have to be, side. This one is big enough that I can flip it all the way over, and then here, turn it on this side. Turn it all the way over. Oh, they look so good. I usually like my salmon medium anyway, but since I'm air frying it, I'm gonna go for the time that they recommend. Because usually when I cook my salmon, I don't like it well done because I don't like it dry. But we're gonna put these back in, and I'm probably gonna go 4 minutes. And we're gonna be good to go. They're cooking again. So I took my frittata out of the oven, and I did pour some of that excess oil off of it. And I'm gonna wait for it to cool before I put it in my meal prep containers. So y'all, look at these bites. Oh my goodness. They look so good. And the total time was about 8 to 9 minutes, but the skin is crispy and they look divine. So let me see if I can transfer them to the plate. But this is what eating carnivore is about, and Eventually, I may get to that strict version, but right now I'm enjoying just letting my body heal and getting used to eating again.